All right, Shalom. There's a brother Nahal from the GMS Orlando camp. I want to start off by giving all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rokar Kodash. Double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone, who are the elders of Yasher Allah. And a sincere salutation to all Yuakim, who are preaching this word and believing this word, and to the Akwath, who are believing this word in all truth and in sincerity. Yahweh is the name of the one they ignorantly call God. Yahweh Shai is the name of the one they ignorantly call Jesus. Bahashem is in the name. Rakah is spirit. Kodash is holy. Akyam is brothers. Akwath is sisters. Shalom means peace. And Yasher Allah is Israel in the ancient Paleo Hebrew. All right, now I want to go into a lesson. You know, brothers have done beautiful lessons on this before. I want to touch it as well through the spirit. And that's the interview with the first Neuralink patient with the brain implant. All right, and see what's going to end up happening is through the label of safety, convenience, many people are going to be destroyed by falling and being deceived into getting into this system. All right, as a matter of fact, let's go here first. This is Revelation chapter 13, and I'll start at 11. And I beheld another beast coming up out of the earth, and he had two horns like a lamb, and he spake as a dragon. All right, now that dragon goes into those draconian measures, and the two horns are the two parties. In Rome, it was the plebs and the patricians, and now it is the Democrats and the Republicans. But it's two horns on the same beast. All right, continuing at verse 12, it says, and he exerciseth all the power of the first beast before him, and causeth the earth and them which dwell therein to worship the first beast, whose deadly wound was healed. All right, and that is that Roman Empire and the structure of the Roman Empire. All right, it's mimicked in the West, particularly when you deal with America, the Roman infrastructure, you know, the Latin and the public systems, the Roman numerals, you know, the Senate, you know, they have shaped themselves like the Roman Empire. It's just technology has increased in this society, but it's the same mentality concerning the Romans. All right, it's just graduated, if you will. You know, the serpent in the garden has now graduated to a dragon. All right, so verse 13 reads, and he doeth great wonders, so that he maketh fire come down from heaven on the earth in the sight of men. And we know when they did that, all right? When they did Hiroshima, Nagasaki, you know, the other bombs that they dropped under the banner of NATO. So these were considered great wonders. Now, here's the point, verse 14, and deceiveth them that dwell on the earth by the means of those miracles which he had power to do in the sight of the beast, saying to them that dwell on the earth, that they should make an image to the beast, which had the wound by a sword, and did live. And he had power to give life unto the image of the beast, that the image of the beast should both speak, and cause that as many as would not worship the image of the beast should be killed. Now that image is this system, all right? This Roman Empire system is the image, all right? And a part of that image is technology, you know, because they're going to use technology as a means to deceive many people and then force many people out of the system who will not submit themselves to it. All right, I went into this before, but when you go to the word killed, and you get this G615, apokteno, it says to kill in any way, whatever. When you go into the root, apo, it says of separation. All right, so this technological system that they're creating, they're eventually going to create that mandatory MOTB, which is the deceiveth, all right? And if you don't take that, you're going to be separated from that system. But before they make people and force people to use it, they're going to deceive them by those miracles. And this is one of those miracles. All right, so without further ado.
In just a couple of weeks, Nolan Arbaugh will mark 6 months since he received Neuralink, a brain implant. Back in January, Arbaugh was the subject of a clinical trial done by Neuralink, a company which is owned by Elon Musk. Arbaugh is quadriplegic, and the implant will not help him move again, but it is helping him overcome some of his limitations. And tonight, he is the subject of our spotlight. And Nolan Arbaugh joins me now from Yuma, Arizona. Good to see you, Nolan.
Hey, thanks for having me, Travis.
So listen, I understand that you became quadriplegic after what you describe as a freak water accident. Tell me a little bit about that accident and how it changed your entire life.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, it was a freak accident in a man-made lake up in New York in the Pocono Mountains. It's kind of crazy. Imagine you are running from the beach into an ocean and you get to about waist deep water and you dive into the first wave. And I did that with a couple of guys and they both came up and I didn't. I didn't hit anything in the water. I think maybe one of them might have hit me in the head in some way, a straight elbow, fist, something like that. But next thing I knew, I was face down in the water and of course, being quadriplegic changed my life. It was a lot to adjust to, but I managed, and here I am.
You managed, and here you are, absolutely, and you've got a fantastic outlook. When you heard about Neuralink for the first time, I guess when did you hear about Neuralink for the first time, and kind of what did you think about it?
Yeah, it was about 8 months ago. I had never heard of it until my buddy called me on the phone, said they had just opened up the human trials and that I should apply. Gave me like a 5 minute rundown, and then we applied together over the phone. And I was just excited. I was excited that something like, Neuralink was taking an interest in something that so deeply affected people like me. And I was excited to be a part of it and to hopefully, progress this field and help people for the rest of humanity, for the rest of time. Honestly, I was just excited.
You weren't.
So I want to go into something real quick because we have to keep in mind, right, that this is what they're talking about is implanting, technology inside of your body. While they're putting up guys who are paraplegic and they're trying to write the story as if this is a great progressive move for humanity, really it's a bid for control. All right, when you go to First Thessalonians, the 5th chapter, it reads, "For when they shall say peace and safety, then sudden destruction cometh upon them, as travail upon a woman with child, and they shall not escape." All right, because what's happening, right, is they're going to promote these things like, look, these are miracles. These are things that could help paraplegics. These are things that you don't have to worry about getting robbed because you don't have cash on you. Like these are going to be the labels that they push out. This is the vibration they're pushing out now. And this is like when you look at this interview, this is a PR stunt. It's a way to promote a product that's really, it's unlawful concerning the scriptures, but it's invasive. And they're going to use this to surveil and control people. On the last one of the last videos I did, I brought up I believe his name is Aaron Russo and his interview with Alex Jones and how he explicitly said that the Rockefellers' goal and agenda was to chip everybody and to have more control over them. Now they're not just going to come out and tell you that, right? They're going to give you the peace and safety spiel. They're going to give you the miracles spiel. That these are great works. All right, look at what we're doing with technology. All right, this is Revelation chapter 19 and 20. And the beast was taken, and with him the false prophet that wrought miracles before him, with which he deceived them that had received the mark of the beast and them that worshiped his image. Because they're basically going to be persuaded into it. Even now, you got some people who probably see this article or see this interview, and in their mind, it's like, all right, well, maybe I can use this for my paraplegic grandmama. Now you top up, you add this to what they're already doing with cash, and you can easily see how they're moving everything to a digital grid. Everything is moving to a digital space. There was a guy, one of the owners of Facebook had this quote that always stuck with me. I'm gonna bring it out real quick. This is Sean Parker, and he was a part of the inception of Facebook. And it says, Sean Parker says, wealth disparity will create a class of immortal overlords. Now, let me read some of it so you can really get context on what the mind of these elites are thinking, how they're operating. Because while they're putting up guys like this as a charity service, really there's another insidious plot behind it. All right. And this is how Esau operates. This is why the Lord told us not to trust him, because this is how he operates. He comes with this benevolent image of him coming to fix and solve problems. And then behind it is war. All right, so let's continue. Let me go back to the article real quick before we add to the video. All right, now jumping down, it says the disparity of wealth in the United States will create a class of immortal overlords. Sean Parker, a billionaire who briefly served as the first president of Facebook, said on Wednesday, said new advances in life sciences are allowing humans to live much longer and more productive lives. Parker said during an Axios Cancer Innovation event at the National Constitution Center in Philadelphia, because I'm a billionaire, I'm going to have access to better health care. So I'm going to be like 160, and I'm going to be part of this like class of immortal overlords. He says, citing the nature of compound interest to accumulate exponentially, he continued, give us billionaires an extra 100 years, and you'll know what wealth disparity looks like, which means they're not going to stop, man. All right. This is only going to continue. It's only going to continue to get worse because, as the scriptures say, his desire is as hell and is as death, and he cannot be satisfied. So basically, they're playing with life sciences. When you think about life sciences, Google has a life science department where they're trying to extend life. Some of them are going the technological route. Some of them are actually trying to investigate cells and figure out a way to extend lifespans. Either way, what they're doing is they're creating this system where everybody's going to be controlled through this digital grid, but it's going to be sold like this. All right, so let's continue.
Nervous at all that you were going to have like this piece of technology implanted in your brain?
No, not really nervous.
Nervous at all that you were going to have
And help people for the rest of humanity, for the rest of time. Honestly, I was just excited.
You weren't nervous at all that you were going to have like this piece of technology implanted in your brain?
No, not really nervous. As a quadriplegic, it's something that gave me pause because my brain is basically the only thing left that I have. And so, yeah, I thought about it a lot, but ultimately I came to the conclusion that I would be helping a lot of people, and that was enough for me.
So tell me about.
And just as a sidebar, if you haven't seen it, there's a movie called Upgrade that deals with this exact scenario. All right. Matter of fact, I just put it on the screen so you can kind of get an idea of what it looks like. So this is the movie Upgrade. And in this movie, there's a car accident, and this chip is supposed to basically save this man's life, make him um, able to walk, do all these different things, but he has to basically put a chip inside his brain. All right, so they have the saying, art imitates life, but really the Lord told us first. The Lord gave us the heads up so that none of this would catch us by surprise. All right, as a matter of fact, this is 2 Corinthians chapter 2 and verse 11, and it reads, lest Satan should get an advantage of us, for we are not ignorant of his devices. So we know how Esau likes to manipulate and sell people through the media, but ultimately we know exactly what he's going to do through the spirit and power of Yahweh Shema Shai. And he can't deviate from prophecy. The son of perdition is being revealed, and we also understand that through these miracles, as they're called, all right, he's going to deceive many into taking these devices. All right, you had Elon Musk at one point, I forget which conference it was I was watching, where he basically talked about they're going to be normal people who just put chips inside of their brain to be smarter. Like, imagine having instant access to Google in your brain. And that's how he sold it. He was like, at a certain point, everybody's going to have it because you're going to have to keep up. This is the system that's being created around us, but it starts with this type of persuasion, because that's exactly what this is. Promoting this guy on all of these different networks is a form of promotion. All right, so let's continue a little bit more.
When you actually got it implanted, what that was like, and then the recovery time.
Yeah, it was super easy. I mean, I keep telling people it was one of the easiest things I ever did. I just went to the hospital and took a little nap, and then I woke up with a chip in my brain. The recovery was super, super easy. The surgery was only 2 hours. They released me from the hospital the next day. They
So as a sidebar, I want to go to this as well. Because what you're starting to see as well, and what I noticed is that they're making people more comfortable with incisions, with surgeries, with these so-called enhancement surgeries. All right, and we know that the vehicle for the chip or the MOTB to be put inside of people's hands or forehead, all right, is going to be that syringe. All right, now I want to go here real quick. So when you go to Revelation 13 and 16, it reads, and he causeth all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads, and that no man might buy or sell, save he that had the mark or the name of the beast or the number of his name. All right, now let's go to this word, mark. All right, and it's the word charagma. All right, it says a stamp, an imprinted mark of the mark stamped on the forehead or the right hand. We're not dealing with that. All right. So it says a stamp or an imprinted mark. Now, when you go to this, all right, you get karax, which says what? A pale or stake, a palisade, all right, a palisade or rampart. All right. Now let's go to Strong's definition. It says this: to sharpen to a point, akin through the idea of scratching. A stake, by implication, a palisade or rampart. All right. Military mount for circumvallation in a siege, trench, which is a whole nother thing. It's spiritual too, though. But the idea of scratching, which shows you that this is going to be physical. All right. It's not going to be sin or Christianity. This is going to be an imprinted mark, something that's physical. All right. It says from Carasso, to sharpen to a point, akin to, let's get this, grapho. All right. When you say grapho, it says to write with reference to the form of the letters. All right. So you have scratching and they're implanting an imprinted mark. All right. When we go back to charagma, it says again, an imprinted mark. Now let's go to Google. It says impress or stamp, mark, or outline on a surface or body, imprinted. All right. So we understand that this mark is going to be physical. All right. And we understand that it is the C-hip. All right, because it's not gonna allow you to buy or sell, but also it's gonna have identification. All right, it's also gonna have medical records, and this is how they're gonna promote it as convenience. All right, so what we see right now is the beginning stages of Esau's rollout, if you will, of this system. Because before it becomes mandatory, it's going to be introduced as an option, and this is why guys like this are promoted first. They're presented to make it seem as if it's optional. And once they get enough people on board, they're going to be comfortable with just saying, look, everybody got to take it. It's mandatory. All right. So I want to fast forward to him actually working with this chip just to get an idea, because again, the scriptures talk about them being deceived by those miracles. And this is only the beginning. You know, we haven't even really gotten into the heavy parts of Project Blue Beam and all the different things Esau has up his sleeve. All right, but without further ado,
demonstrate for us, if you share your screen with us, how this all works. And you just think about it and then you move the cursor. So what do you got to show us?
Yeah, here we go. Let me hop in here and share my screen. And then there.
So you're just moving that cursor with your mind right now.
Yeah, absolutely. It's all brain power. So this is the link app.
Okay.
This is how I control the computer. This is something that Neuralink has developed that's let me gain control of the computer. This is how I do all of my work with them. I go into all of these little tabs and do different things. This is also how I would game, connect to like a console or something if I wanted to.
Oh, wow. Okay,
Yep.
so battery 31%, is that that's for the
that's
chip?
my Neuralink. Yeah, my Neuralink.
So you have to charge
the chip itself. I do. I charge it as much as I use it, honestly. So 31%, I can use that for maybe a couple more hours, and then I'll charge it. It takes about an hour and a half to charge all the way, and then I use it for over 6 hours again.
Wow. Okay. So gaming, can we see that a little bit?
Yeah,
Okay, cool.
I'll show you a little bit of a game that I play. So this is something that I do just for fun. When they are trying to set something up for me, they are just playing around to get me do some more like, I don't know, some sciencey things that they like to do.
Right.
Trying to wait and set up for the next task that I'm going to do. Anything along those lines. I'll come in here and play around, and this is all just me thinking, cursor go here. This guy, I don't know. It's just something I do for fun. And then let's see what else I can do over here. And this is my chess website.
There you go.
That I
Nice.
play,
Okay.
yeah, that I play all of my stuff on. So just hop in right there. And there we go. I'm playing a game of chess.
Now you're playing a game of chess.
Yep.
And see, all of this is under the banner of convenience and, progress. But we ultimately know, what Esau is truly up to through the Spirit. The scriptures talk about if he do good, he do it unwillingly. All right. As a matter of fact, let's end it there. Because there's a reason the Lord told us what he told us. It's a reason that we have prophecy so that we're not deceived, because the scriptures talk about that. All right. Matter of fact, let's go there. Let's get Matthew chapter 24 and verse 24. It says, for there shall arise false Hamashiachs and false Hamashiachim and false prophets, and shall show great signs and wonders. All right. Esau is one of those. Esau is going to show great signs and wonders, and it's going to be all an effort to get people under control, to do his bidding. All right. It says, in so much that if it were possible, they shall deceive the very elect, which should tell you that everybody else is going to be deceived, hands down. This is why the Lord said it this way, if it were possible, meaning that's how good it's going to get. The deception is going to get real. All right. The persuasion is going to get real. All right. So let's go back to Ecclesiasticus chapter 12. And I'm going to jump down to verse 10. It says, never trust thine enemy, for like as iron rusteth, so is his wickedness. Though he humble himself and go crouching, yet take good heed and beware of him. And thou shalt be unto him as if thou hadst wiped a looking glass. And thou shalt know that his rust hath not been altogether wiped away. See, with the quick veneer smile that Esau likes to throw around, our people forget how they got over here. Our people forget how he became who he is now. The crimes that he committed to be the person he is now. And our people are naive enough, first and foremost, to believe that he's changed. And this is why the Lord said, then you shall know that his rust hath not been altogether wiped away. But if you're deceived, it's going to be too late. Verse 12 says, set him not by thee, lest when he hath overthrown thee, he stand up in thy place. Neither let him sit at thy right hand, lest he seek to take thy seat. And thou at the last remember my words and be pricked therewith. All right, because he did that. All right, when you deal with the Renaissance, before the Renaissance, during the Dark Ages, we were letting them get close again. And we were deceived. And it was all through the spirit and power of Yahweh Shemal Shai, because a falling away had to happen. But this is wise counsel concerning who we're dealing with. Now, verse 13 reads, who will pity a charmer that is bitten with a serpent, or any such as come nigh wild beast? And so you have to zoom out, because I say this all the time through the spirit. Our people confuse their personal relationships with day-to-day people with Esau, Edom as a nation of people. As a nation of people, they're your enemy. This is why Paul said, if at possible, be at peace with all men. Because you think about an ambassador, when an ambassador walks in a room, even if it's an enemy country, they're still able to shake hands and be cordial. But they understand that as a nation of people, those are our adversaries. This is why the Lord taught us to be wise as serpents and harmless as doves. Because ultimately, when you zoom out, you actually see the son of perdition for who he is, not who he pretends to be. All right. Now, verse 13 again reads, who will pity a charmer that is bitten with the serpent, or any such as come nigh wild beasts? And we have no pity. Even now, the Lord had our apostles talk about the MOTB decades ago. You know, some of the things our apostles talk about now are normalized, but back then it was outrageous to the common person who heard it, which shows you that the Lord said he will work a work in our days that we will not believe though it be told us. But wait, there's more. All right, verse 14 reads, verse 14. So one that goeth to a sinner and is defiled with him in his sins, who will pity? All right. Now let me go here to Ecclesiastes 14:5. Says, he that is evil to himself, to whom will he be good? He shall not take pleasure in his goods. There is none worse than he that envieth himself, and this is a recompense of his wickedness. And if he doth good, he doeth it unwillingly, and at the last he will declare his wickedness. So they'll paint this picture of convenience, of we're helping out the maimed, we're helping out the sick, the widows, but behind all of it is wickedness. And in due season, it's going to be revealed. All right, so Lord willing, this was edifying. With that, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Wakakodash. Double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone, who are the elders of Yasha Allah. And a sincere salutation to all you Akim, who are preaching this word and believing this word, and to the Akwath, who are believing this word in all truth and in sincerity. Shalom.